I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream.
62 years later, why we still march. Welcome to another episode of Hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin. Today we're pausing to reflect on a defining moment in our nation's history. 62 years ago, Americans gathered at the Lincoln Memorial for the March on Washington, D.C. It was a turning point for civil rights, for freedom, and for the dream of equality in our constitutional republic. The following message comes directly from Marilyn Vetrano, a friend of mine, whose words honor that history while challenging us to continue the march forward.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Remember, we fight for what's right because it's time to go right.
62nd anniversary of the March on Washington, August 28th, 2025. 62 years ago, more than 250,000 people gathered at the Lincoln Memorial for what would become one of the most transformative demonstrations in American history. The March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. They came by bus, by train, by car, and on foot. They came carrying hope, courage, and the unshakable belief that America could be better than it was. We remember that day not only for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s words, "I have a dream," but also for the countless others who raised their voices demanding dignity, opportunity, and equality. The March on Washington was not just a dream. It was a demand for jobs, for justice, for freedom that extended far beyond words. It was a call for policies, protections, and progress. We must also remember that movements are built by many hands. Bayard Rustin, an openly gay black man, was one of the chief architects of the march. His leadership reminds us that the struggle for civil rights has always been intersectional. Black freedom, queer freedom, workers' rights, and women's rights are woven together. Today, 62 years later, we still face forces of division. We see radical inequalities in education, healthcare, and the criminal justice system. We see LGBTQ youth under attack through legislation that seeks to erase them from classrooms and deny them health care. We see voting rights threatened, hate crimes rising, and voices of dissent silenced. Dr. King said, quote, "Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice." Today, that path is still under construction, but unfinished does not mean unattainable. It means we still have work to do. Civil rights are not just about the past. They are about the present. They are about whether a transgender teenager feels safe walking into school. They are whether a black family can breathe freely in their neighborhood without fear. They are about whether love, Two women building a life together, two men raising a child, or anyone daring to live openly can be celebrated without shame. Dr. King dreamed of a nation, quote, where little children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. He imagined a day, quote, when the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. He envisioned a time when, quote, when justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. These are not just words from history. They are a call to action for every generation. The fight for equality is one fight. When one group's humanity is denied, all our humanity is diminished. When one person's dignity is affirmed, all of us rise. The March on Washington was not the end of a movement. It was a beginning. Every generation must decide what it will march for, what it will dream for, what it will demand. So let us march for a nation where Black lives truly matter, and all lives. For a nation where LGBTQ people can live openly and authentically without fear. For a nation where legal immigrants are welcomed, workers are protected, and women's rights are guaranteed. For a nation where equality is not a promise on paper, but a reality in practice. Dr. King said, quote, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. That arc does not bend on its own. It bends because we march, we vote, we speak, we love, we refuse to give up. 62 years ago, people gathered here with courage and conviction. Today, we gather with that same courage, that same conviction, and that same dream, that America can live up to its highest ideals. Let us keep marching, let us keep dreaming, let us keep fighting, until justice truly rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Folks, that was Marilyn Vetrano reminding us that freedom, equality, and justice are never finished projects. They are living promises. For more content like this, visit GoRightNews.com, and you can subscribe on Rumble.com/GoRightNews, YouTube, Spreaker, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple Podcasts. Stay strong, stay free, and always go right.